You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Kryger, Lee v. Dittmer.
Thank you, Ron. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Kryger, you say that your mother's ex-boyfriend, Mr. Dittmer, has denied that you were his daughter for much of the past 34 years due to his anger over paying child support. Now you and your mother have brought him here to prove that he is your biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dittmer, you say you accidentally agreed to pay child support for Ms. Kryger, and you claim that you never believed she was your daughter because her mother, Ms. Lee, cheated on you throughout your 12-year relationship. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I got duped into paying child support, Your Honor. They sent certified mail to my mother's house, and I wasn't there. I was in Colorado. And when the certified mail came, my stepdad signed it. So they held court without me and found me in default because I wasn't there. Well, anyways, when I came back from Colorado, it was something I was running from the law from. I paid my bond to get out of jail. And after I paid my bond to get out of jail, they said, you ain't going nowhere. The friend of the court has a hold on you. And so I had to pay $300 more to get out of jail. And when I went and talked to the court clerk told me that by paying the $300 that I admitted guilt. And I got stuck paying child support for the rest of Jamie's life, yes.
And you don't believe she's your biological child?
I do have my doubts.
Your Honor, I have pictures right here that will prove without a doubt.
Let me see that evidence, please, Ron.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. These are pictures of
Jamie as a baby.
Jamie as a little girl.
Yes.
The next picture is
Mr. Dittmer.
Mr. Dittmer, and you believe they look exactly alike.
Look at him, yeah. How can he deny her?
Do you see the similarity?
Not really, Your Honor.
Miss Lee, were you intimate with anyone else?
Yes, I was, but at that time, I was not. I was very close to his family. I met him when I was 14, Your Honor. His family was my family.
It's okay, take your time.
Everybody, when there's babies born, compare and say how much they look like me on my dad's side of the family also. So how could they look like me if I have a different dad and that's from my dad's side of the family?
Your Honor, the older two children have blue eyes and blonde hair. Jamie's always had darker hair with a hazel or brown
And you
eyes.
never claimed them or paid child support on them. Why?
Well, because you didn't tag them and you never had me sign
If you were a
any
man and
birth
responsible,
certificates.
you would have signed the birth certificate.
I didn't want the children in the first place. You was the one that wanted marriage and babies, marriage and babies.
Yeah, I did.
She stopped taking the pill and got pregnant, Your Honor, and had the first child.
Yes, I did. I sure did.
She tricked me again.
I did.
She's been tricking me my whole life, I think.
My mom's parents died when she was 2. Her grandma got sick and passed away, and that's how my oldest sister came along. She felt she needed something closer to her, and so she admits to tricking him, but she was also very young.
Very, very young.
And I've been on my own since I was pregnant.
How long did this relationship go on?
12 years, 13 years, I don't
You have
know.
2 older children,
Yes.
but you're denying Jamie, Miss Kryger.
She's the one that looks different than the older children. The older children have blonde hair, blue eyes. Jamie has dark hair, hazel or brown eyes. The older children are more athletic.
Well, every child is different.
Well, why would she trick me into paying child support like that, Your Honor? I mean, I wasn't even at the hospital when Jamie was born.
You most certainly were.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, my God.
No, I was
really?
not.
That upsets you, Miss Lee? You don't, because he doesn't
Lying, Your Honor.
No, I'm not.
Is he on her birth certificate?
No, he's not. He took me to the hospital.
I don't remember that, Your Honor. What
You don't remember?
I don't recall that. When I was younger, I did do a lot of drinking, but I still don't recall that. I don't remember her. And why would she trick me into paying child support? Why would she send certified mail to my mother's house when she knows I'm in Colorado?
I didn't do it. The state did it because I had to get help raising my 3 kids alone.
Well, I just know it happened.
Miss Kryger, when did you find out that Mr. Dittmer was denying he was your biological father?
In 2007, I stayed with him for a month before I got my place. At first, it was just all of a sudden I was hearing all this, how I wasn't his kid, and I just kind of backed off, but I've always been raised with him as my father. Before we moved to Monroe, he used to occasionally come by and visit us outside because he wasn't allowed in the house because of my
No, Your Honor, I fought for 2 years to get visitation to see these children. I went through referees, I went through mediators. She kept saying that I would kidnap the kids, that she'd never see them again. It took me 2 years to get visitation, then they gave me supervised visitation.
No, it was your drinking, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna let my little children go with you drunk and have you driving with them drunk.
So,
my kids were
Mr.
not
Dittmer,
safe.
if you didn't think Miss Kryger was your biological child, why the visits?
Well, Your Honor, there was just doubts because her mother was messing around with another fella about the time that Jamie was conceived.
No,
I believe
I
a
was
couple
not,
of the
Your
fellas.
Honor.
Yes, you were.
I had been going to church, Your Honor, with his mother, and
I'd
I had given my life to the Lord, and that
was-
is how it happened, because I went off the pill. I said, I'm not having sex again until I'm married.
Your
He
Honor,
knew this. He knew I was not on protection.
She's acting
when
like a
conceived
born-again
her.
virgin or something. That's not true, Your Honor.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Tell me what happened. You all were together, but you broke
She's
up?
always slept with other people, Your Honor. There was a couple people that I know
Yes,
for
and
sure.
you have as well.
Her best friend's folks told me she was messing around with this guy about the time that Jamie was conceived. So yes, she was messing around.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
Now, this is unfortunate, Miss Kryger, Jamie, that you have to hear any of this.
From what I
very.
hear, my mom's admitted it was, but it was the sister before me, but he doesn't deny her, and he always gripes about how he had to pay child support on me.
And that leads you to believe that it's about the money.
Yes, that's why it's
Your Honor, the child
a little
support's
bit
been
more.
paid. I've got the final payment right here. I'd like to present it to the court.
I'd like
Put
to
it on
see
your-
that.
Well, I ended up talking to the attorney for the friend of the court, and I settled with him. They said I owed $13,000 at that time, and he said that only $3,000 was owed in child support, that the rest of it was administrative fees, interest, and surcharges.
Yes.
And we settled for half of that, and so I paid it off to get it off my back so they'd leave me alone.
So you paid the amount of $6,500
Yes, ma'am.
to settle your child support debt.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you had so many arrears,
Yep.
a $3,000 child support debt.
Well, they kept chasing me down. They wanted to throw me in jail all the time, and they kept threatening me. Every time I'd get a job, they'd want money, you know. They hounded me forever. As you can see, that's back in '07 there that I finished paying off. So it's been a while. As far as I'm concerned, I've always treated Jamie like my own, always treated her as my daughter. I go down there, I cut her grass, or whatever she asked me to do. She came to me one time, she wanted a car. I helped her buy a car. She said, Dad, I'll pay you back. She sold the car. I never seen a dime. You know, I mean.
So, Miss Kryger, I see when you listen to this, you look emotional.
Yeah, there's been so many instances that he's helped me some, but he's also griped the whole way through. He told my daughter's dad that I wasn't his, and I had to hear about it, which is pretty embarrassing.
No, I never told her.
What
I
happened?
told my middle child's dad, you guys were drinking, yes, but still, if you said it, then you feel it, and you shouldn't be telling my people that are my friends and stuff. It's one thing to say it to me. Say it to somebody else, that's just disrespecting, belittling to me, makes me feel less welcome. I got in a bad car accident, lost my job. I did a lot of struggling. He did help me for a couple of years when I had my middle child. I thought for Christmas, maybe I'll get $100, 20 bucks like I usually get.
I give her money every year for Christmas, Your Honor. She comes over to my side of
$20.
the
She
family.
just said it.
No, more
I
than
got
that.
25
More than that.
Well, I mean, the fact is he's giving you something. I mean, because let's be honest, you all are accusing him of being about the money, the fact that he had to pay money for child support. I mean, he's paid the child support, he's even paid it off.
Well,
the fact that he's even also giving you money on top of that seems to be...
He didn't, though, right away. Like, when I was little, I asked for
I
some
even give her
rollerblades.
daughter money for Christmas, too, my granddaughter.
But isn't this about more than money, really? I mean, how did you feel? Did you feel like you were his biological child, or do you feel like he treated you differently?
I always did for the longest time, but then as I became an adult, then he's telling me all this. My mom cheated on him, probably his cousins. He's telling me this and that.
Wait, he said you might be his cousin's child?
Yeah, he told me that my mom cheated on him with one of his cousins, and he didn't start doing things for me for Christmas till way later. Like, I found out the gifts that I did receive when I was a child, like, he did pay for it, but it was my grandma was the motivation driving force. He wouldn't even file his taxes because he didn't want my mom getting money. He always was griping he didn't want her having the money.
So, beyond money, I feel like that's all we're talking about today. Money.
Well, Your Honor,
money.
it's because her mother's greedy. I mean, when Jamie lived with a lady on the next street behind her mother, the child support check went to the next street over and her mother got upset.
What I'm trying to get at, Ms. Kryger, beyond the money, I mean, this has had to affect you. And I see the tears in your eyes. It's as if she has so much in her heart to say, but she's almost been like brainwashed, hypnotized, programmed. Anything that comes out of her mouth is how much money.
Well,
And this isn't about money. A child has no clue about money, and they shouldn't. That's not what you should be concerned with. When you were younger, did you feel like you were treated differently?
He never denied my other sisters, but he never paid a dime on them. So that's why it seems like it's kind of money. And then when he did help me, he'd always be griping. Well, I don't even know if I'm yours, but I just gave you 20 bucks to help you buy some diapers. And so it got to the point where, why ask him for help? I mean, he's just got it in the back of his mind. I'm not his kid. It makes me feel worthless and like, it's a lot of emotional abuse, and that's what sticks with you, and that's what stays.
That's what I wanted you to be able to say out loud. And you don't have to feel ashamed to say to two adult people, and you're an adult now.
It's embarrassing when somebody comes and tells me, oh yeah, your dad said he ain't even your dad.
Of course it is.
Like, I know he said he's had his doubts, but to go tell other people, and then my daughter's dad at that. I mean, come on.
And now I think you've just had a moment to be able to verbalize how that's affected you. When was the first time you ever even got wind of this?
Your Honor, that was my fault. I was drinking one time and I was mad because I was paying support, and I told Jamie that she may not be my child.
How old was she?
I think it was around the time he was settling child support because I moved to buy him in 2007.
When he said he was drinking, and he said he realizes he shouldn't have said that, but he says, I'm not even your father, I'm not your father. What was your response?
I was pretty shocked the first time I heard it.
Did you ask your mom about it?
I think the first person I called was my grandma.
Which was my mother.
She was my rock. She meant a lot to me. And, you know, somebody asked me, well, what if he wasn't your father? Well, my grandma was my everything, you know?
And you feel like if he's not your biological father, in a way, you lose the connection you felt like you had with your grandmother.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with. It's an emotional little roller coaster.
This is very emotional. This is deep-seated. You're 34 years old now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so thankful that you had the courage to come in here today. Because what you've spoken about, it's not easy. You know, this is your day in court. When people have their day in court, it's just time to lay it on the line. So I think the only way that we can truly move forward in this moment is to get the results. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Thank you. Ron, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Kryger Lee versus Dittmer, when it comes to 34-year-old Jamie Kryger, it has been determined by this court Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. Mr. Dittmer, you are her father.
Oh.
How do you feel now that you know for sure he's your biological father?
I never had any doubts. It's just been dealing with all this.
And Mr. Dittmer, how do you feel?
I feel kind of relieved, Your Honor. I'm glad that she is, but her mother put such a doubt in my mind back then. She was always messing around, you know. I mean,
No, I was not during conception.
Oh,
I
yes,
was
you were.
not. I was going to church at the time.
Yeah, I know, a born-again
And we
virgin.
dedicated all 3 girls to Christ at that point.
Okay, so I can see that you all need some counseling. And that's a fact. I say to people, the truth is our starting point. It's a seed, plant it, and you gotta water it with communication and forgiveness, love, respect. I will give you this, Mr. Dittmer. I mean, I've been a family attorney for many, many years. And what a man goes through as he struggles to pay child support, it can be a very difficult road. And I should be clear, not just men pay child support, women do too. And to do all of that without knowing for certain in your mind and heart that this is your biological child because you were named the father by default is a very real burden to carry. But boy, she had to live with a lot of turmoil because of this. For no reason, because she is your daughter. So we have counseling and resources for you all. We want you to take advantage of it. I wish you all the very best of luck. Court is adjourned.